I am MBG Shastri, speaking from Hyderabad. We are now present sitting at Meher Baba Hyderabad Center, Meher Koti, Hyderabad. Before I met Baba in 1962, some preparatory work seems to have gone with me. Earlier, in 1953, the first occasion when somebody brought the subject of Meher Baba to me and saw the picture of Baba in glossy clothes, it set me a great reaction, what type of Baba he is. And second time, when another great lover has presented me, or about to present me a locket, I refused to take it. Not only refused to take it, but even committed that insulting act of throwing the cast at his face and not taking the locket.
Locket what?
Locket of Meher Baba. The locket, which we are now wearing as badges, as you all know, it was Meher Baba's locket which was presented to me, but I didn't accept it. And on another occasion, when I arranged a meeting of Bhagavad Gita in one particular hall, there when I saw Meher Baba's picture there, which I didn't like right from the beginning, I wanted the secretary to get it removed. And when she refused to do it, I had to go there, remove it, and threw it forcibly in the lumber room. That was my first stage of reaction towards the mention of Meher Baba or towards seeing his picture. And later on, when a Baba lover mentioned the subject of Baba's darshan to me in one of the meetings, I asked him, well, when does your Baba give a darshan? He said, they will have normally in the month of May. Then, no, in the month of May it's not possible to have darshan of Baba because that is the very month where I had very busy with my official youth. I simply know that he is God. And from that moment onwards, the acceptance of Baba as Avatar commenced. On the first day, that is on the 1st of November 1962, when darshan program was being carried on, Baba wanted us to come in rows, row of males first and then females like that. By the time 5 o'clock is over, my turn has not come. The Arati time was over and Baba said immediately Arati. That Arati was a really unforgettable Arati. For the benefit of Westerner lovers and Eastern lovers who are mixed up there in the evening programs, he wanted to demonstrate that Arati. It is such a beautiful Arati which no one can forget. About 7 girls having plates in their things and waving Arati before Baba. It is such a sight. It is sight to see for gods, not for even human beings. Then, when the Arati was over, the instructions were being given on the mic that everybody should go away now and because Baba is going to retire into the room. But I, being so much engrossed in the entire show, I was standing there only and unmindful of the instructions that are being passed on through the mic. And ultimately I found that I am the last person in the pandal and Baba was there in the dais. Then, without knowing anything, without knowing the intricacies of obedience or anything, I simply stepped onto the dais and fell at the feet of Baba. Then I stood up. That moment, Baba looked at me from foot to head like that. And I got so bad within myself. There is no look of warmth, there is no look of love, there is no look of any affection. And then, why all this trouble I took to come to him here, and what is it that I have done to deserve this type of treatment? That sort of thing went on in my mind, and I simply returned back home without talking to anybody, and in a morose mood. I came home, that is the lodging where that Ramakrishna Pune Center man has arranged our lodging. I came back and just lie down on the bed, and I never wanted to speak to anybody. The colleagues who have come with me are asking me why you don't take all those things. I never wanted to take anything. I did not get sleep, did not take food. I went on thinking about the whole incident till about 3 a.m. or so. Then a thought, probably inspired by Baba, has come within me, which said that today there is a lot of confusion at the pandal because there are no volunteers. Then why not I take up that volunteer's duty on myself tomorrow and atone for whatever sin I have done today, probably going up the dais without being called or some such thing may be there. Therefore, I immediately decided to perform the duties of a volunteer on the next day. When that thought came, the peace came to my mind and I had a little rest. And immediately at 4 o'clock or 4:30, I got up and tried to get into the bathroom to get ready for the darshan program. Just then when I was entering the bathroom, one of the Mandali, somebody came. Now I recognize him to be one late Shastri. He was coming to the lodge and crying. Late Shastri. He was coming to the lodge and crying out, any volunteers who can give the names to do the volunteer duty. It's a wonderful thing, I thought, that about a few minutes ago only I was thinking about performing volunteer's duty, and here the call comes from one of the Mandali. So immediately I rushed back to him, gave my name as a volunteer, and seeing me, giving me a name as a volunteer, the other group who have come along with me, the 14 of them, have also given their names as volunteers. And thereafter, the story is a different one now. Now, because we have enlisted ourselves as volunteers, preference is being given to volunteers. First breakfast, first lunch, first journey to Guru Prasad, everything volunteers first. That's how the story changed from the second day. Then, as a volunteer, I stepped into Guru Prasad and took up my positions. Now I was no more anxious about going to Baba and having his darshan or anything like that. Let it come in its own time whenever it has been destined. So, we are unmindful of everything else. We wanted to perform our own duties, which we have taken upon ourselves. So, I stationed all the other 14 people and myself. And so I was so happy, it so happened that I was close to Baba in very few first seats, and I was having that joy of looking at him all the way, always. Now, the situation came when the row in which I have been sitting, that turn of that row came. Then I was not very sure whether I had to go along with the queue for Baba's darshan, because the previous day I had gone to him and prostrate before him, and Baba was telling, don't take such of those who had darshan, should not have a second darshan. So I was in a fix whether it constitutes darshan, whether I have to performing anything else. So when I got a doubt, I contacted Mr. Ramakrishna there, and he told me, well, your darshan like what is not a darshan at all. Darshan means you must embrace, and Baba will give a physical touch. That is the embrace. Since you did not have that, you have to go when your time comes. So, second day, when I went to Baba, actually I went there as a one-man queue to perform the volunteer duty. There, the main thing had happened. When my turn came to approach Baba, the instructions were being given from the mic, not to press, not to lean too much on Baba, but to just touch him lightly, to avoid pressure and to avoid causing pain to Baba's back or neck, from which he was suffering. So, when my turn came, I leaned gently on the two arms of his chair and then slowly touched his cheek lightly with my cheek. I had not had any idea of what about to say or anything like that, but unconsciously, unpreparedly, when my left cheek was on the left cheek of Baba, these few words have come out as a whisper into the ears. I said, "O Lord, take me unto you." And when these whisper went into the ears, Baba glanced at me with a very affectionate and kind smile and just nodded his head like that. That is the great moment which I think is a promise given by Baba, which I am sure he is going to keep, and I am going to enjoy it. With me, he played a different game. He always are far removed from reality. Yet, if anybody has now invited you with love, do not decline the offer and do not hurt the feelings, for nothing excludes Baba. But for further guidance, for future guidance, remember that Baba does not wish anyone to be initiated by anyone. He wants you to hold fast to Baba's Daman and remember him wholeheartedly, for he is God in human form. So, that way, when Swamiji has asked me to take initiation, after receiving Baba's letter, I went to him and then, no doubt, took his initiation in order to please him, as Baba wanted me to please him. Thereafter, I have nothing to do with that further initiation. After I had the first darshan in 1962, then I promised within myself that with the next opportunity I must take all the members of my family to Baba's darshan. That's how my mother, an aged widow, my father was not there at that time, she came to Baba's fold and darshan in 1965. Afterwards, I have been constantly reminding my mother through letters to remember Baba all the time as much as possible. And she was replying to me that she was remembering Rama, Krishna and also Baba. Then I wrote her back saying whether even if you forget Rama, Krishna does not matter, but try to remember Baba always. And later, when I learned suddenly that my mother has passed away and I reached home and my brothers told me that she was in coma for the past 6 hours before she breathed her last. Then I little worried about whether my mother could think of Baba at her last moment, for which benefit she had the darshan of Baba. Somehow I felt she would have missed him. Then I was praying within myself to Baba, "Oh Baba, you have to take her to you. Whether she remembered you or not, I don't know." And then, when I returned back to Hyderabad, I got a telegram from beloved Baba conveying to Ramanaya the message which is now to be given like this, in which Baba stated, "Lakshmi Devamma, that is my mother, has come to me to rest eternally in my love. Inform MBG Shastri, his mother is blessed. My love blessings to dear MBG Shastri Parivar." So, to my prayer within myself, Baba gave the response saying that my mother has been blessed and what I desired, my mother could achieve by Baba's grace. The month of May, it's not possible to have darshan of Baba because that is the very month where I had very busy with my official duties and works. Then I told him also casually, if it is possible for Baba to arrange any darshan program somewhere in October or November, well, I may think of going to that darshan. But it so happened that after a few months, the same gentleman comes again and says, "Well, sir, I don't know how it happened, but Baba now this time called for a darshan program in the month of November. So you can attend the darshan program as originally agreed to by you." Then I was really wondering whether Baba really arranged for darshan program to suit my situation. Then I thought, since I committed myself to going there, I must go there. And when I had to go there, a lot of preparatory work will also happen. Until and unless I accept his avatarhood mentally, all obstacles have been created in my journey. And somehow, the moment when I became resigned to the ultimate will of God, though not of Meher Baba, then the situation changed and the journey could take place. Ultimately, when I reached Pune for darshan program, and from there on the bus to the gates of Guru Prasad, the moment when I reached that place, it was about 10 o'clock, and at that moment, just then, the gathering with the West was over, and all the Western disciples are coming out of the gate. When I looked at those people, their faces beaming with joy, and therein I found young mothers with young babies coming all the way from all over the world, then perhaps that scene I could not bear. Then it has set a reaction in me and said, what a fool I was, why I have missed him all these years. So since about 1953 I have been resisting him, and it took 9 years to make me come to his feet at Guru Prasad. The scene when I saw those faces coming out, it gradually I broke down and began weeping right at the gates of Guru Prasad. And my friends who have come with me, they were wondering what happened to me. But somehow there is nothing for me to explain, and I went in ultimately and was sitting along with the crowd in the Guru Prasad Pandal. There, the time to take place was about 3 p.m. But Baba was sending messages from within saying that he can't wait. He is becoming very impatient at the love of the lovers. So he wanted to come out even earlier than scheduled. So he ultimately came even at 2:47 itself. Then Baba was being escorted on one side by Rich and another side by Adi. And Baba was just came out of the room and standing at the threshold, just entering in the pandal. That is the moment which is so green in my memory even today. The darshan which I had, whatever that has taken place, that very instant which I looked at him, immediately I knew He is God. It is not a conviction, it is not a faith, nothing but knowledge. So, if people ask me today, have you got faith, have you got conviction, they have no meaning at all except to say, I simply know that He is God. And from that moment, I am Shastri of Hyderabad. Once, when I was at Chittor, one Swamiji came to me one day, whom I had never met before. He came to me and stated that he had a dream a few days back in which Meher Baba appeared to him along with another guru of his and instructed him to contact one Shastri at Chittor and try to initiate him in the name of Meher Baba. We never met before each other. So, he was trying to locate me and ultimately came to me at Chittor and he told me that he had a dream and instructions from Meher Baba to initiate me with a mantra. Then I told him, I don't know anything about your dreams, but if you had such a dream, I must write to Baba and get his instructions. So, I wrote to Baba explaining the whole story about the Swamiji's dream, and right came from the reply from Baba as follows. He says, now, once you have found the Ancient One, and blessed is he who has found him, everything is to be kept aside and drowned in the ocean of his love. There is no need anymore for any ceremonies, rites and rituals. Once you are blessed with the love of the Ancient One, the only thing one has to do is to love him wholeheartedly and obey him implicitly. This is the meaning of holding on to his Daman. There is no more need for initiation or yoga or meditation, for you are at the very root of all cause and effect. However, beloved Baba says that he has no objection to your fulfilling the wish of the Swami to initiate you with the name of Baba. Let him ask not and let him feel happy by carrying out what he has directed in vision. Visions and dreams are far removed from reality. Yet, if anybody has now invited you with love, do not. When Baba, though he was giving so many experiences to others, by saying something or written something, with me he played a different game. He always conveys to me through somebody else and never directly to me. For example, on one occasion, when my brother happened to be there, my brother went inside Baba's room and he was having his darshan and Baba gave him an embrace. While my brother was taking leave after the embrace, he called him back and gave him another embrace and asked him, give this embrace to your brother. I really wonder, I was not very far away, I was just outside the room only, he could have called me and given that embrace himself. But this is the way how he plays with me, and several instances are like that. Always through somebody else or through some other medium, I receive his instructions or love.